So good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne. We're live on the Downey Cycling YouTube channel for another, and what is going to be one of the last 4 Chaingangs prior to a summer break. Yes, that's right. Heaven forbid, but Russ and I are taking a break. It's not the sort of breaks that you get on the ends of your forks in your frame, and sort of breaks that actually happen because we've done 2 years, and do you know what? Time for have a little bit of a regroup, a refocus, and dive back in September. Absolutely flying. We've got a great route. Russ has been picking the routes all the way through the month of April and has come up with some real crackers that people have enjoyed. He's been looking for different routes on the way round, and there's going to be plenty of people who are glad that today is not quite as hilly, because of course we're just coming on the end of the Easter break. Some people are still on holiday, some people just go back to work, most people probably having an Easter egg or 4 too many, and does mean this is a nice flat route today. We're in Tempus Fugit, one of my favourite routes around Zwift, and it's very, very fast. It's all about sitting in that draft. Now, one man who I've not spoken to, in fact, since the start of the Easter break, is the one and only Russ Downing. The question is he going to have had too many Easter eggs, or will he be a slim racing whippet because basically he's not getting a chance to eat because the little one's keeping him up all night? We'll soon find out. So, on the other end of the phone line, we should have the one and only Russ Downing.
Hey, up.
Now then, how are you? Did you have a good Easter?
I think so, yeah. I can't remember.
That sounds like a very good Easter to me.
Nah, steady away, you know. Not much going on. Pop round to see my dad, ate a bit of food. That about it.
Sounds like a good bit of rest and recuperation. Did you manage to get any sleep?
No, sleep's cheating, mate.
Yeah, let's see if you say that by the time we come back in September. That could be
disrupted is the. Anyone says, "Do you get any sleep?" I just say disrupted.
Yes. It's not the amount of it, is it necessarily? It's just the fact that it's generally not much more than a couple of hours, if you're lucky, which makes a difference. However, hopefully you'll get a bit of a break to get the legs spinning tonight. We're heading off around Tempus Fugit. A relatively flat course, 48 metres of climbing in the total of the ride tonight. So going to be one for the bigger, more powerful riders, potentially.
Yeah, the more powerful ones that can probably push this stupid 70 ring that I've put on my Wahoo bike.
Well, I had heard rumours that you've gone excessively big, but maybe we'll catch you with the ins and outs of quite why with a 72th a little bit later on. We've got lots of time to catch up with you, I'm sure, because it is a relatively flat one, albeit a very fast one. So we're going to let you dive off, Russ, and see if you can catch up with the rest of the gang who are all piling on into the pen by the look of it.
Yeah, pretty busy, you know, up to 57 now, so yeah, it's all good.
Excellent stuff. We'll catch up with you soon, Russ.
All right, mate, catch you in a bit.
So great to catch up with Russ, who's down in the pain cave, and a 72th. The man is clearly having a bit of sleep deprivation going on there. Now, we've still going to Tempus Fugit. Let's show you exactly what that entails. Tempus Fugit in Watopia. We head out. It's quite a long lead-in. You can see the red section taking us around to the black loop in all the way, in fact, to the orange square. That is our archway that signifies the start and finish. We go through that multiple times, but the important part is when we go through it with the uphill slope on the left-hand side and the open desert to the right. You'll see what I mean when we get there. We go out, we do the lap down around the turn at the bottom, round the turn at the top, and back round to complete one full turn. We go down, back up, back through the arch, round the turn, back out again, 2, and so on to cover 3 full laps. The rock arch of the Fuego Flat Sprint is the line, and we should hit that at 54.2 kilometres. We've got about 800 metres of warm down, total elevation today, a wonderful 48 metres of climbing. Russ leading, Greg Pillsworth, our red beacon, keeping everything together, Greg. One of our experienced riders, and we'll sure be diving in with him. Let's show you the most unused graphic of the lot that is going to be tonight. Our basically essential bit of viewing for people. The Velo Viewer graphic tells us exactly how much height there is or isn't. And at the moment, it's really simple. There is hardly any elevation on the course or whatsoever. You can see a slight rise at the top on the loop round, a slight rise on the right-hand side. That's when we go in through the oasis in the gorge. And you can see that there is a slight rise on the way in towards the southern turnaround. However, all of this is relatively immaterial, because what will take its toll is the draft, and our riders are already heading out onto the course. We've got about 30 seconds on the clock at the moment, and hopefully all of our riders starting to get themselves together as we head out on to the route here on the Donny Chaingang. So, without further ado, let's dive on in with the riders out on the Donny Chaingang. They're heading out, and we're going to see just who has got the pace, the speed to deal with Tempus Fugit. Time will fly, it certainly will. So diving in here on the Donny Chaingang live with me, Matt Payne, on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel, just running in with Lord Greg Pillsworth himself. Looks like a few dropouts further back. Quick reminder, don't forget you have, of course, a simple option if you are getting distance. Jump out, jump back in again. Use 30 minutes for a late join. We're just moving our map around. You just see we come out from those chevrons on the right hand side of the map and just making our way into that turn. Looks like Simon Runnett just putting the power on to get tucked back in again. Our cameras focused in on Greg Pillsworth with that red pillar of light up above him, and I think Greg just about to come onto the back of that group and get everybody in to the pack. Good to have everybody on here. Chris Ball, take it easy. I know Chris got a broken arm. Chris needing to, or hand, taking it really steady, mate. You don't need to go too hard. Don't forget, if you are coming back from illness, accident, take it steady. You like the shit you're in. We don't want anybody going down with anything nasty for a long time. There's no point in doing that. And that's just a good way to take yourself out of the game altogether. Now, as you can just see, we are in the wilds of Watopia, the chain gang, just making its way around this side of the pillars. This is around the most northerly turn, and it looks to me like Greg Pillsworth with Tristan Emptish from Chevy Cycles, just squeezing those pedals just to get tucked back in to the gang once again. You can just see they're going to start making their way in towards the gap. Simon Runnett is out the back by some distance, about 500 metres, 18 seconds. If I was Simon, I'll be jumping out and jumping back in again. We're going to jump down with the riders now. This is our run into the finish. You have the old church and the fort on the left-hand side, and you have the flatlands to your right. If you go under this arch in the opposite direction, that is not the finish line or the lap line. Really simple. This direction only for the finish. 3 full laps from here. Let's see who's going to be in at the finish. We're going to just take a little bit of a run back. Simon Runnett just on his way. I'm not sure I'll be waiting too long for him. He's motoring his way in and through. And Simon, we know, one of our real fast riders, Mr. Pillsworth, about to see him coming. In fact, here he is. So Greg, one of our real experienced red beacons, working well, and the two of them no doubt will be picking up Mr. Cooper, Tim Cooper from Sherwood Pine Cycles, tucked just in front. He's going to be motoring fairly soon. I think Simon just saying thanks for the lift. Simon's a super powerful rider, again really, really strong and really quick, and one of the riders who's improved along with many on the duration of the Chaingang. So Tim in here, getting the riders coming in and around him. Looks like Craig Genther has dropped back as well. So just seeing Craig coming steaming on through. So it's all about having the pickup, having the kick to motor on back into the back of the pack. So the gang are getting themselves back together. The place to be is in the main group. Looks like Tom Lindley in here, just Tom Lindley, sat in with Billy No Mates. Looks like Mr. Thorpe in here. I got Tiff Fletcher. Good to see Tiff back in with us once again. A regular on the Chaingang, and someone who we know has got a serious sprint, could well be putting Tracy the Terminator Seeley under pressure. We'll see if that's going to be the case. At the moment, our gang are rolling along and keeping everybody moving. Looks like Nick McDermott tucked nicely in this pack. Bundy's in here. Sadler's in as well. Rich Orrell. Mr. Mason in the main part of this group as well. So it looks like pretty much everybody all together as the gang comes in through. So we're on the flatlands heading into towards the gorge. At the moment, everybody are rolling along well. We've got Jimmy Allen back. Jimmy, of course, the ride leader who stands in for Russ when Russ is busy. And looks like we've got Jimmy Allen in today. Jimmy actually going to be taking the reins next Tuesday. And good to see Jimmy in here. I know that of our other yellow beacons, the women's yellow beacon is racing tonight on Zwift after we finish. Is planning on being on the Chaingang on Thursday, and Alison Kinlock at the moment actually out in the sunshine, out riding in Spain. So getting some miles under the wheels out in the world of sunshine and fairly similar terrain. So in through town the Chaingang goes, everybody all together. Just take a nice look at these, the guys on the way in and through, whilst we see that tornado just blowing down through town. Generated by the pace of the riders motoring along at the moment. So this will soon change, it will soon pick up, and the pace will start to wind. At the moment, pretty much everybody comfortably sat here. Got Stefano Barelli in with us from Nonnas. Good to see Stefano in. Martin Conley's back in once again. Gibbo in here. Paul Malin again in the gang. Good to see we've got George Cooper back with us. Miss Cookie in and riding as well. Neil from the Crosscast making his way in after what must have been a very busy weekend up in Newcastleton for round number 2 of the National Mountain Bike Cross Country Series. And I'll say it again, because everybody always seems to be still seems to be asking. No, I'm not going to be at any of the National Mountain Bike Series on the mic. Yes, I would love to do it, but it just wasn't possible. No, I don't know who, why, what, where, or when the replacements did. Yes, I will but try and get to at least one of them to support the riders who are there. No, not really missing it. Quite enjoying the sunshine, quite enjoying riding my bike, and quite enjoying doing the gigs I'm doing. Thank you very much. That's all the questions answered. I love being able to get more done now and out of the way. Right. Gang on the way in through, and this is one of the really nice parts of the world in October. The flowers coming out because, of course, it's now springtime. The waterfalls coming down here in the gorgeous oasis in the middle of the desert goes Both directions through here on the road. We go heading southbound and then northbound, and we repeat that double 3 times to give us a total passages in and through. And at the moment, as you can see, it is Gruppo Compacto. Everybody enjoying that sort of roll along with the group at the moment, and looking good at the minute. Nobody off on a Muppet-like flyer, nobody heading out the front, everybody just keeping themselves in position at the back and looking good at the moment on the Donny Chaingang here on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel. So thank you very much, Tim. It's not the same without me. Well, it'd be very difficult. Can't clone myself, sadly. So some messages continue to come in. Don't forget, of course, you can catch up if you need to get in touch with Russ or myself. You can do that all the way through the year as well. In fact, just catching up with WhatsApp messages, which seems to be pinging in at speed. Also got lots of people pinging in on Facebook, which is always good to see. So the gang working well, just starting to head out from the gorge and just heading into the desert once again. The gang are looking nice and smooth as they head out around this turn. The group is well and truly together. Nothing drastic happening at the moment. The pace pretty steady away. Let's jump back in with our riders. Mr. Handley tucked in here. Let's have a little look at Isaac Oliver in as well. And good to see the group. I'm still looking pretty comfy here, just around in here with John Garford from the Royal Navy Royal Marine Cycling Association, also a regular on the DCG now. Just watching John make his way through, one of our keen supporters, member of the DCG gang. Congratulations to everybody who took a win on the draws that we had from Halo last week for the jersey and for the credit on the website, on the on the halowheels.com website. You can tell I've done a lot of talking already today. I promise it won't slow me down, honest guff. Now, looks like the gang rolling nice and smoothly. It looks like everybody pretty much behaving themselves at the moment. Just working our way in around through the game. Looks like pretty much everyone in there. You can see some Rodney in there. Looks like Mick Clark in here. Paul Malley, one of our winners from last week. Mr. Watson on board. Antonio Donny's here as well. Russ is, as we see, on 91 at the moment is his heart rate. Let's see whether we can get that any higher. Hopefully he's not listening at the same time as we're doing the talking, but you never ever know with Russ. So Russ just rolling along nice and comfortably, hopefully. And Russ, how's the heart rate doing? It's sitting around about 90. Is that kind of almost match? That must be like 30 beats more than your revs on a 72th chainring.
No, I'm leveling it off well. 94.88, so yeah, not bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm in top cog. I'm in 70.28, I think, which I wouldn't like to have a chain under there.
No, that's got a lot of sideways on there, and definitely bad practice cross chain ringing like that. That is definitely not what the guys would be on there. But just think, at least it's on a Wahoo bike, so it's not actually in real life having to go anywhere other than straight. So maximising the efficiency.
It's got no chain, so as people say, when you've got no chain, you're absolutely flying. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it could be really interesting to see. And I did notice there was a few questions on the banned subject, the taboo subject of turbo difficulty. But fortunately, we cut away before we got into the. Somebody decided to open that can of worms fully. So hopefully that discussion has ended. We haven't yet actually had to ban anybody for opening that discussion, but I think it may be coming at some point that if anybody mentions the dreaded worst trader difficulty, they're in trouble.
As Tim Cooper said, it's irrelevant on this course anyway. So
yes,
I'm running the Wahoo bike as it comes out of the box. So I think that's
even better.
Yeah. So what they suggest. So that's where we go.
That sounds good to me. Now, good to see the gang rolling smoothly. Nobody really having too many problems by the look out. So by the look of it, and it looks like pretty much everybody doing all right. We're still 15 minutes of late join as well. It's a little bit interesting week, isn't it? Because of course we've got this shuffle around. Traditionally, and it is only a tradition. It's not a hard and fast rule. It's fast, flat Thursday, and it's a hillier Tuesday. But we don't always do that. We have mixed it about a bit.
Yeah, we have done. We can't just keep Gareth Mason from not sending me 20 messages a day moaning about the route, can we? So we've got to mix it up on a Tuesday, and it looks like he's rushed home from work and he's made it. So my money's on him tonight. He's definitely put his neck on the line and got home from work early. Probably get a sack in the morning, but it doesn't matter. It's DCG, isn't it?
Well, going to be interesting. We have also got Dale Williams on board, who has shown he's got some speed and power. He also managed to get inside of being late, missing it altogether. But he's definitely one of those riders who's got the power and got the pace on there. But don't discount the rider who has just changed his tag. Just Tom Lindley could well be our next big sprinter able to take them out, because he seems to have discovered his sprint legs, particularly if it's hard beforehand.
Yeah, they've got the sprint legs and they can talk about it. So, scary riders online, these two. So, better watch out for them. We might have to have a bit of a conversation, myself and Jimmy, and gang up on them, see what we can do.
Well, we have seen people ride away and done some serious long breakaways on here. It would be very interesting to see if that could stick on the way out. Maybe we're going to see a really aggressive race from those people who are not wanting to leave it down. And again, of course, it just depends on when the trigger is pulled and when you let the limiter off and everyone can go. But it would be interesting to see just how that plays out, how aggressive people are feeling, or whether they just want to have a ride into the finish. I think there's going to be an interesting battle in the women's competition as well, because we have got Tracy Seeley, who is an absolute Terminator. I've noticed she's been online riding a ton as always, and always getting faster. But we have Tiff Fletcher with us as well, and Tiff, of course, a real quick sprinter, a GB coach, and one of the riders who we've known to do 3 chain gangs in a week as well. So I think that fight in the women's competition would be very interesting. They've both got a good kick on them. I'm not sure I would want to put money on who it'll be between the two.
No, I was out with Tracy on Saturday, and she just smokes it. She loves it. And then I think she did do an 100 miler on Sunday with Tom Lindley. So absolutely loving it, and it's all good. They said battles within battles, and that's what we love about the DCG. So it's all good fun.
Definitely. Well, we're going to.
My revs just dropped to about 50 then, so.
Yeah, she having to put some effort in. I've noticed her at 51 at the minute, and the heart rate is 88. So it's not actually going up; it's going down. My usual trick of talking to you has not actually brought that up any. So do you know what? We're better let you get back to this, because it is looking a little bit more fractured, like fractions, because they're still working well. So enjoy, have fun, Russ. We'll you never know, we might catch you before the Triggers pub, but we'll see.
Yeah, I've actually changed down a couple of gears, so I'm probably in 70. I don't know, 19 now. 47,
Absolute madness.
47 revs per minute.
Absolute madness. Just put it in top gear. We're actually on with you at the minute.
I'm going.
Come on.
I've gone in top gear.
You're in top gear. What? Sit in the bunch. What are we on? 33 revs per minute. I'm going to just try and get the camera in, and let's have a little look. Oh yeah. It's a little clock-like. Is those legs? Look at that. 36 revs per minute.
I'm out the saddle.
Excellent. Are you still leaving the bunch? You got to knock it off a bit, mate. You're going a bit quick there.
Sorry, boys. Matt told me to do it.
I'll let you get back and concentrate. Good luck, mate.
29. Like my heart rate, this.
Heart rate when you're asleep. Love it. Catch you soon, Russ.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
Great to catch up with Russ, and always good to watch people having a bit of fun on the Chaingang as they work their way around the course. Really interested to see Russ on that phenomenally big gear there. But the gang now starting to head back north again, head back up towards the Oasis to head back in and through. The gang are riding well. The helicopters are tracking the riders, and pretty much all together at the moment, which is what we want to see. So our cameras are just in the fog at the moment, just having a quick look as come in and through. So just watching the riders make their way in along through these roads, nice and smooth. Interesting to see how these riders get on. 13k in underneath the wheels at the moment, and Mr. Wilson took nicely in here. Another of our regulars on the Donny Chaingang. So our gang working well. I can see so many of our regulars on here. Neil Moran on here, just seeing Rich on here as well. We've got Carl Johnson, another of our regulars here. Mr. Pearson here, Mr. Clark, looks like Lone Rider, and a few of the riders just heading out of the back. Tim was saying you now need a rear light for hill climbs, and I believe actually I think it's the front and rear light for any CTT event. Let's have a little run in and through the game. Looks like plenty of bodies in the game. Mr. Osman in there, Karl Kopinski in, Varty in there. Let's kind of see Martin working well. We've got Barali in here as well. So this gang working nice and smoothly, which is what we want to see. Nobody going for a flyer. I'll tell you what, time to go make coffee. We'll see you all in like 5 minutes or so. Don't think they need us keeping an eye on them at the moment. Just working the way in and through. So no problems for the riders at the moment, keeping it smooth going in towards the centre. Just seeing a few feathers being used up on the whole 1-2% gradient here. So the gang nice and smooth at the minute, nothing too untoward. The watts per kilo just ticking along nicely, defaulted in here as well. Mr. Osmond, Greg Pillsworth having a nice quiet day at the office, I think, at the moment, which is good to see. Camera's just cutting up to the helicopter shot, a bit of a waste of time, and our riders are currently just stuck in the middle of the Oasis. Not going to get a decent camera shot down in there. Looking forward to seeing the camera work at work over in the weekend. Busy weekend on commentary for us, and busy week full stop. We've got lots of pre-production meetings as well as lots of broadcasts. So we're going to have a busy weekend. Saturday we're broadcasting the first round of the World Cup XCE. That's the cross-country eliminator. Riders going 4 at a time, being knocked out 2 through to the next round, to being knocked out all the way to the minor and major finals. And that's taking place in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, and that's going to be streamed out the UCI YouTube channel. Lots of takers around the world. It goes out on everything from American TV right the way through to pretty much most of the global takers, the big takers. So going to be really interesting to be back on that there for the whole of the XCE Eliminator Series. Looking forward to bringing you all of the action. Make sure you tune in for that one. That's going to be really exciting. Some really talented mountain bike riders going to be out racing and actually going around a bike shop in UAE. There's lots of different locations. It's going to be in Leuven. Going to be across in Lech over in the east. We're going to a massive variety of places. Barcelona, go to Paris as well. They're kicking off in Abu Dhabi on Saturday, Sunday. Broadcasting live again, more cycling coming out every weekend, every Sunday. That's heading out. And of course, we're into then the final week, OCE week, the week after, of the Donny Chaingang as well. So it's going to be a busy old week, that is for sure. Looking forward to trying to get on the bike at some point on the way through as well. Now the riders are just making their way out from the gorge, coming through town and now heading in towards the next turn. Looking really smooth at the moment. So riders going underneath the arch, the direction that brings them through. They've got to go around the far loop before coming back in to the finish. At the moment, this group working well together, and we're taking a little bit of the scenery as they head out around the circuit, looking good at the moment. Arrows keeping tucked in nice and tight together. So it looks like Miss Cookie about to jump off, so it looks like we're not going to need to play what was going to be our standard get off the bike noise. So if Cookie's calling it a day. Get off the bike, Sarah. Get off the bike. There we go. It's our new noise to get rid of people. So Miss Cookie done and dusted. Might keep that up our sleeves for later. Never know. I hate that noise, it's horrible. It is in fact an old Plexer. It's an Aruga sounder. Use its bud name, the unofficial one. So good to see our riders all working together enough silliness for now. So Mr. Purlsworth with Tristan Heritage Company just squeezing onto the back of the gang. Okay, a number of riders just heading off to the gang, heading in to the racing. So if you're leaving us to go head out and race, then good luck. Gang nicely on the way around. Let's drop some graphics in with the gang, and as you can see, just about to make the way in towards those additional few hundred meters. See the sprints unfold as we try and head in towards the archway. Just about to get it in view now. So Ted's off to go race his dinner down. Get it sorted, Ted. So if you have tea like 10 o'clock at night, it's like standard in this household these days. So it's coming around in and over the line. I'm not sure that we've got Mr. Nunn with us, our official lap counter. So Russ doing the job. In he goes. Two minutes. 2 laps to go even. 2 laps to go. Stair Williams clearly not working out enough as he goes through the lane, getting 2 lots of XP. Lots of people burning up feather flags on the way through. So Ted doing the honourable thing and letting our beacons know he's heading off the back. So Ted done and dusted. So that Greg Pillsworth pushes his way back on to the group. So Rodney tucked in here with Mr. Crease as well. Everybody just keeping that pace nice and smooth, keeping those revs up there. So Mr. Forbes just off the back of the group at the moment, just been dropped for a couple of 100 metres. Looks like about 19 seconds down. No word on the message board coming in at pace though. Got 3.6 watts per kilo, 4 watts per kilo coming down. So maybe we're going to need to send a few riders back. I think Luke Hanley just dropping back. Greg definitely dropping to go give a hand. They're going to need a few people back there though, because this is going to be a big old ask to get back on. The dynamics are that the draft will help with the group rather than our solo riders. You can just see on the map we're focused on Greg at the moment. Coming up behind him is Mr. Forbes. The front group doing 37 kph. And let's see what Mr. Forbes can pick up. He's doing 41, so currently doing about 4 kilometres an hour faster. He's just shot past Simon Runnett. Simon probably just heading off to go take A little bit of a break as taking advantage of the gap now. At the moment, Forbes pushing hard here, so it's James Forbes grabbing that wheel of Greg Pillsworth. Got a few riders starting to trail back. Craig Genther, Tristan Emtage just dropping back. Looks like Russ as well doing it, taking a little bit of a pace back, but this is a quick ride on here. And as you can just see, the guys that are working really hard here, this duo closing that gap down. They've now got it down to 8 seconds. In fact, 10 seconds to the back of the bunch, but they're coming quick. They're coming at some pace, 44 kph. So a real fast pace. Looks like Tristan Empty is going to be the next rider who's going to see them come back past him. Here he comes. So now big kick from Tristan. He gets out the saddle, and the riders just picking up the pace. Looks like so Rodney dropping back as well. Great to see. He's going back. Everybody helping the gang get back together again. And that's what the chain gang is all about. Look at that, the beakers and everybody on the way in and through. Simon Runnett is suffering from some sort of dropout. Something's dropping out, let's put it that way. So the gang are rolling back together again. That quick charge back in. And looks like Stevens, Osman and Sadler just need to squeeze a little bit to get back in with that group. So our group now in towards the Oasis. This is the section where the gang heads in. It's got a slight rise on it. It's the section that takes us in and through the lakeside, and looking good at the moment. So the riders up and underway. Can I shoot the eagle, Mr. Williams? I could shoot the eagle. Believe me, it's not a problem. Feel free, I'll quite happily do that. So keeping me entertained, if nothing else. There we go. I've just shot it. It's gone. I wouldn't do such a thing. Great bird of prey. Have, however, sent it some prey somewhere else so it can go chase after them somewhere in the distance. So riders on the way through and looking good at the moment. The lesser known swift eagle is definitely not protected species. So the gang are working, heading out of the sector, making the way out of the Oasis at the moment. Going to be heading out past the really tall waterfall and heading out around the side. At the moment, the gang are working well, looking good, and motoring on the way through here. I'm loving the banter about going to see where the riders are heading. Looks like another issue at the back for some of our riders. Craig Genther just squeezing back in. We've got riders jumping in and out all over the place, but Simon Runnett definitely with tech issues somewhere. I'm loving Vin's comment, get Matt to distract Russ so that he doesn't call it early. No, I want him to call it now. Like right now. Like right this second. Won't happen because he never listens to what I say, believe me. If only it was so simple. And quite happily have him call it at the start on this course. There's a reason we're getting lots of scenic long shots, believe me. So the group just starting to ease this out. It is going to be a little bit quick. I think soon Simon Martin just dropping off the pace a little. So the gang are working well, just getting the odd drop out at the moment. The pace holding as they make the way in. Through the sides here, just coming pretty smoothly around these turns. Going to be coming into the turn any moment. You can just see the mountains in the distance of Zwift, because all these multiple wheels on Wartopia, all part of the fantastic platform that keeps all the wheels rolling and provides us with a great home for the virtual Donny Chaingang. So the moment Simon Martin quickly pushing back in to the back of the group. Didn't need any hand back there whatsoever. You could just see very quickly Craig Gether and Greg Pillsworth just dropping back a little bit off the back, just to give it a little bit of assistance. So we're just coming back in through town at the moment. Yeah, neon-esque lights here. Just keeping an eye on the riders. The eagle up on the top of the sign there. Clearly, we're just waiting for Dale Williams' legs to fall off and become a little bit of roadkill to pick up. But we'll see if that's going to be the case tonight. Has he got the power? Has he got the speed to go to the finish? Well, only one way to find out. Make sure you keep on watching. So, ticking along at the moment. I'm liking Jason Stevens' nice little late go, be good. So the riders motoring in and through town. Looks like Swift managed to get the old farm working once again. Makes a nice change to actually have the sound turned up. Chaingang at the moment, working rather quickly around those turns, looking good. The Donny Chaingang here live on Downey Cycling YouTube channel. The red and yellow beacons, yellow beacon it is Russ Downing. A red beacon, look, Greg Pillsworth on his way around the I think it's pretty warm in the pain caves out there at the moment. Warm out on the roads of water, becoming through the Fuego Flats repeatedly here as we come around this too. We're going to be taking the right hand turn in a second, heading back through the neon scenery, looking pretty quick at the moment. And still we've got what is essentially one compact group pace, not shedding anybody at the moment. Our riders having planned jumps off, as well as, of course, one or two people with tech issues, but not too many people with leg issues by the look of it. So here we are. I'm loving Mr. Williams saying we go on the downhill climb like it's going to make any kind of difference today. It's all about power, it's all about speed. At the moment, the riders comfortably heading out around the circuit here. So past the diner we go, past the picnic tables, just making our way back north once again. 1.5 laps complete pretty much. And now our riders know that we are at 28k in, 47 minutes of riding done so far. And this group still sitting all together, looking pretty smooth. So Sir Rodney with Greg Pillsworth, our red beacon, having a very easy ride today. We're really not having to do too much work at all. Sir Pillsworth, though, has been one of our real hard-working red beacons. Got to say a massive thank you to them. The bunch clearly rolling along, having a nice, easy time at the moment. Nobody on the way out of the back of the group, but Greg are working to make sure those people who did get dropped off came back on nice and quickly. The Eagles are back somewhere. I can hear him, even if you can't hear him on your feed at the moment. So, heading north, Greg Pills was just saying, a doddle today. Indeed, it is so far. But don't forget, of course, we're still waiting for us. I think he's going to run us all the way in until we are on about half a lap to go today. I think he's quite enjoyed this nice steady roll in. So just seen Anthony and Donny just running towards the rear here. So through they go. And Antonio just rolling his way up in towards the front, just keeping an eye on the riders at the moment. Nick McDewitt just holding station at the rear here. Another of our real fast riders, although, has to be said, pretty much everybody on here just having a steady ride through, but could all be up and challenging. I think everybody's going to have a hard time once Ross does press that button. A group altogether. Just a quick message just come in from Simon Runnett saying it was definitely a tech internet issue with dropouts on his internet line. I think, Simon, you need to give me a call. We can sort out. There are umpteen ways to get around the internet issue, depending on what setup you are on and what lines you have in the area. Or you can even do what we do and even put in an emergency 4G network. Amazing what Technology will let you do these days. Oh, the go has gone. I'm busy waffling about the internet, and Rusty's decided, never mind the speed of the broadband, it's time to put the hammer down. Russ has gone for it. Look at the numbers going behind. All of a sudden, the gaps are opening. You can just see, watch the shape of this bunch as they go down this straight, led out by Russ. This big wide bunch has suddenly become one long, thin line as the power gets put down. And you can just see the gaps have really opened up here. Now Craig Gensler just leading this group in and through. You can just see the gaps opening at the back, a few at the front. Most of the big names in here by the look of it. Just looking to see if anybody's got caught out who shouldn't have done here. Looks like Beefy having to put his foot on the gas pedal at the moment. Let's take a little bit of a run down. So Colin Bell here just got Stefano Barelli, Lone Rider, and Mr. Evans in front. They've got to squeeze down. They can't afford to let these gaps go. Come on, Colin. Time to squeeze on. Paul Manning doing the same. Veltrex behind. Looks like the gang at the back getting the bus together. That's going to be Bobby Mason, Greg Pilsworth, and Sir Roddy. I think Nick McDermott having to do the same as well. So the groups are just starting to be distanced here. Just going to take a little look. Looks like John Garford got a little bit of a gap from John to the group on the front. Let's have a little bit of a look. At the moment, it is going to be Gibbo who is just rolling the back of the bunch. You can't afford to let these gaps go. It looks like it's going to be Langmead as well as Luke just sitting in there. Looks like Mr. Clark sat comfortably in this group, though. Carl Johnson tucked in the pack at the moment. Russ just rolling around the back of the group. Then we drop back from. So Gibbo just being a distance off the back of that main group. The front of the pack is getting stretched out. So Gibbo just starting to be a distance, and I think we're going to find already riders going on the offensive up on the front here. So Luke Handley and Isaac Oliver, two of our young lightweight riders here. Both these riders have got the power and the pace to take this out on the front, but they're looking to really make it hard for the riders behind. Now, key here, don't let the sprinters have an easy ride. If you want to tow Dale Williams to the line, rather you than me, that is going to be a real brave move. What I would be doing, sit at the back, hold the wheels, and get a little bit of recovery done, then give it full gas and go down the side of the road, try and open a gap on them, and let the sprinters have to work and let the riders go. Really make those riders who you think are going to be the big sprinters take this out. Now looks like Tiff Fletcher making this group. It's you see the Terminator, Tracy Seeley behind at the back of the pack. So Tracy Seeley needs to move up here. She's in danger zone there. Rolling around at the back up by Russ is a dangerous thing to do. As the gang continue onwards. Russ just having a bit of an entertaining time at the moment as he rolls around the world's biggest gear.com. So the gang continuing to push, but at the moment that pace not breaking riders off the back. The back of this group is still pretty fixed together as they come in and through. Let's take a little bit of a look. Looks like Steve Cannon now gone. He's got chasing behind him. This is going to be a group, effectively number 2. We've got one or two riders in between, but group 2 is going to be Colin Bell. That's Beefy from Cycleway. We've got Lone Rider. We've got John Garford in here. Evans, Barali all in this group. A little further back then is Manny sandwiched between group 2 and the bus. And the bus at the moment is group number 3. The third of the groups, if you ignore or don't count the individual riders as being a group in their own right. So certainly looking to me like these gaps are pretty much in to stay. Just keeping a check here. Looks like Tristan has got on the attack here. He's gone clear of Billy No Mates. He's starting to wind it up on the front. Is he going to be able to go clear and open enough of a gap? At the moment, it's only a second or so. He's got no reinforcements at the moment. You can just see Craig Ganther just pulling this group back in again. So the whole pack are going to come flying past, and over the top goes Craig Ganther. Luke Handley quickly up to speed there. Vin Donohoe in there as well. Everybody are wanting to hold this pace as high as they can, really make the riders struggle. But just holding it at steady pace will not be enough to give the bigger riders a hard time. We have in with us today the one and only Gareth Mason, the fat cyclist in his traditional black kit here. Now, interestingly, according to this, on set of Mellenstein lightweights and a specialised lightweight frame. Yeah, and don't think that's probably what you got. I'm hoping you've put a disc in since you jumped on to the ride, Gareth, because you definitely ain't going to need lightweight kit on this one. That's for sure. Probably got a better gear than Russo, let's face it. Now, Rob Farty just squeezing on the front, just coming through the sprint the reverse way. We're going to come round. It'll be one lap to go as we hit that line once again, as we go back in the opposite direction. But Mason nicely tucked into this group. Now, Mason definitely one of the big favourites. In with him is going to be Dale Williams. Dale, another of the real big hitters in the bunch in that traditional pink and blue. Trying to get a view up Dale down there with his pink Tron bike underneath him, and Dale Williams could well be the man to beat, as we see another attack on the front again. And now at the moment it's Thorpe and Isaac Oliver who are trying to go clear. Farty's responded to this, and I think Vin Donohoe just rolling the pace off here. So a group of 3 riders just starting to stretch at the front of the group. Now, who is going to panic? Who's going to try and chase them down really, really early on? We're not even into the loop back yet. We're just coming around the turn at the moment, and it looks like they're coming all the way back in together. Good to see Greg and the Red Beacon group just start holding everybody together, just making sure everybody's rolling together well. So Russ just laying off the back now. The groups are going to see each other as they go in and past the chasing group of Borelli and Co. Just coming in the opposite direction. We're going to have our Red Beacon group come flying past here. So the Red Beacon group just coming shooting past in the opposite direction. You can just see that there are riders all the way out and around this course. As we watch Dale Williams on the front here being made to do the work, the riders in front just squeezing up now. Dale Williams bins off a feather flag. Is he going to get rid of it in time? He will do. And that means that Thorpe, Varty and Oliver currently at 3 seconds have the gap, and Williams is being made to work here. This is the tactic the riders have got to employ. They've got to make the bigger, more powerful riders do the effort. If you don't have a sprint, then don't tow a sprinter to the line. It's real simple stuff. If you have got a sprint, then what you're going to do, you're going to make sure you do as little work as possible and get towed around as much as possible to save those legs for the end. Now, so we've got Carl Kopinski back in the group with us. Carl, that is a very nice outfit. I have to say, great kit. Colour coordinator's a man of your stature. Carl, of course, great artist, responsible for some of the finest pen and ink drawings, as well as some great artwork. Make sure you go on to YouTube, put in Carl Kopinski, artist in there, and make sure you catch up with what Carl's been up to. One of the favourites on my feed, I have to admit, and always great to see that. Now, we're just watching Dale Williams having to do the work here. He has got company behind him. Rob Vaz just dropping back a little bit at the moment, but I think Dale Williams is going to make this leading group, and now we're going to see a reaction a little bit further up the road. So our leaders Just seeing Dale Williams in behind him. Thorpe, Oliver, Genther and Williams are now our leading riders. And I think Neil from the Crosscast not wanting to let them go. And Neil, of course, from Gritty, one of our key supporters. You can see them all across the bottom of your screen. Making sure that the riders have plenty of support if they're a member of the DCG gang. You've got to say a massive thank you to all of the members of the DCG gang for supporting Donny Chaingang up till now. Don't forget, of course, we'll be opening that back up in September. We'll be running tickets right the way from September right the way through to April of the following year. It'll be an 8-month run on the way through. Meanwhile, back at the on the ride, these 4 riders being left out there at the moment, and I think there's some cool playing being done here by the riders behind. And you can just see people like Neil Morn in here, Tiff Fletcher in here, Russ just sitting holding back. All of these riders just making sure they don't do too much work. This is stopping other attacks going at the moment because the leaders are right up on the front here. And you can just see now they start to come together. So Russ moves his way up into the wheels. Is he going to go over the top of them? Is he going to be able to roll that gear right the way through? Well, he's gone over the top. He's at 6.6 watts per kilo. Thorpe is now picking up the pace to go with him. Genther isn't far behind here. And if we can see attack after attack for this last lap, we may well see them go clear. Now Thorpe has gone. Has Russ got the pace to go with him? Not sure he has, and that's only Thorpe out there on his own, which is exactly what he doesn't want. He wants to see some numbers up there. He wants some bodies to come through with him, and he doesn't want that to include any of the sprinters. If it went at this halfway junction, then this is going to be a trouble for everybody else. So Thorpe now gets pulled back. Russ comes in over the top. Then it's Osman, Varty, Genther, Donahoe, Williams in there. Jimmy Allen, he's riding very, very safely at the moment, not doing too much. So Jimmy, of course, our ride leader, the Wolf, playing it cagey at the moment. Of course, if we put him in a corner, then he's going to be at his most dangerous. I suspect we're going to see him go for a long one. The question is how long, and will he take bodies away? If he can pull a few bodies away with him, and that's true of anybody on the way through, then this is going to be a tough for everybody else. But they've got to pull bodies away. If it is one group that go through, then it's going to be a game over. Meanwhile, it looks like Steve Wilson just starting to be distant. So this little bit of a rise here, just taking its toll as we just see these 3 riders now just a little in trouble. They've got a squeeze on now. So Steve Wilson is going to be it's Forbes and Stevens, Forbes and Wilson who've got to do this. Now they've got to squeeze and got to get that pace back up again, but difficult because there are 3 of them versus all of these guys. This is going to be tough stuff here, and I think those gaps have gone. Now, just taking a little bit of a look back, this is the group behind, and it looks like Tracy Seeley, the Terminator, has been terminated from group number 1 and dropped back into group number 2. So they go down through the straight in group number 1, though. I'm sure I've seen Tiff Fletcher in there, and if Tiff is in there, that means she's going to be pretty much assured of taking that top spot unless her legs are low on the way through. But we have indeed got Tiff Fletcher in here, so going to be Tiff in that leading group, hoping to get enough of a gap. Don't forget, though, going to be able to sprint if you come into the finish together at the moment. This group is pretty much together. They've got 3 riders a little bit further behind, but looking good at the moment as they come out around these turns, coming out and away from the gorge, and continue to head down 41.1k up on the blocks. 54.2 should be the distance when we hit the line, so still 13 kilometers to go for the riders at the moment, but looks to me like they are really keeping the pace at a fairly high tempo without anybody being able to break clear at the moment. It may well have to drop down in pace before it can go fast once again. Isaac Oliver onto the front. The lightweight youngster just pushing on. Lightweight in kilos, definitely not in firepower though. Absolutely motoring along at the moment. Got Vin Donahoe closing the gap down. Then Neil from the crosscast just rolling alongside Dale Williams in very attentive mood today, not wanting to let anything go, not wanting to let those gaps open. So our leading group at the moment, 19 seconds clear of the chasing riders. That is going to be Forbes, Stevens and Wilson. They have 10 seconds on Luke Handley. Then it's further 42 seconds back. And this is our chasing group of Ferren, Fulton, Clark, Canham, Johnson, Langmead, Tracy Seeley in there as well. And then it's going to be Cannon with Garfoot, Shaw, as well as Evans and Borelli, all chasing. They have 7 seconds to make up to Cannon, 1:19 to Fulton. Then it's going to be Sir Rodney alongside Greg Pillsworth. And I think Beefy just taking a little bit steady, a bit further back behind our red beacon, 10 seconds down on the beacon at the moment. So, really interesting moves a bit further back with riders getting into packs, into groups. This group on the front, though, definitely starting to split a little bit here under the pressure of the riders on the front here. And I think Craig Getzer winding that screw at the moment. Lindley's quickly onto wheels. Russ senses the danger. He goes across the gap. But this is where we could see a split. Rob Varty pushing on the front. Thorpe is with him. And this is where the gap is. Tim Cooper's got to respond. Rich Orrell's got to respond. Are we going to see a natural shedding of the second pack here? We're just going to take a little bit of a run back. Now, Tim Cooper just keeping in touch with this group behind. Bundy is leading this second group, and this could be two groups here. They've got to respond. It looks to me like going across goes Tristan Emtage. Emtage wanting to get across that gap. He's got to do this. He's going to be in big, big trouble if he doesn't, because this group is splitting and the gap is opening. Good to see Chris Ball has got the pace and the power to sit in there. I'm not sure that's the wisest thing to do with the damage he's done out riding the bike. But at the moment, it continues to push now. Tiff Fletcher aware of the damage. Tiff is trying to get across this gap. Come on, Tiff. Never mind sitting up. You've got to put the power down now. You've got to squeeze across. It's 3 seconds at the moment. The pace has got to be hot here. You've got to keep that pace going at the moment. No, I think Tiff is going to be struggling to make this. She's got to keep kicking. 10 watts per kilo. This is worth it for the sprint. And this gap will open right up. So Tiff Fletcher trying to get back across those wheels. Bundy also trying to do the same. I think Tiff putting repeated kicks to try and get that gap down. It's now at 4, now 5 seconds. And I suspect it is going to be the chasing group that are going to close down from behind. Genther and Co rolling in here. Russ just sitting off the back of the group at the moment. Start rolling that round. Still a deal 66 revs a minute. Very, very crazy numbers here. So this group have distanced group number 2. They've got the gap. They've taken the turn around the loop now that will bring them back in and through. And the gap was definitely opened up. Just seeing a few people just having to squeeze on the pedals once again. And again, we're seeing another attack. Isaac Oliver is not wanting to make this easy for those sprinters. He's definitely one of our faster youngsters. Is he going to be the rider who is going to take this clear? He's got another gap, 3 seconds this time. They can't afford to let him go because he's got the pace and the speed to take this home if he's left to his own devices. He's almost on double the watts per kilo. It looks like Russ has got on the front and just shut the pressure down, and that means that everybody else now has to respond. Isaac Oliver up to 4 seconds. Craig Genther's going to try and sprint his way across the gap. He's being trailed though by looks to be Dale Williams, wanting to come across the gap as well. So look at this, Dale Williams. Is it Dale going to go for a breakaway? Is he not going to leave it to a sprint? This is a fast train coming through, and this is a real working group that's hit the front here. We've got Craig Genther leading this out. We've got Dale Williams, Rob Varty, Isaac Oliver. We've got Thorpe in here, making his way across, and we've got Mason in this leading group. If they push on, they've got a little bit of a gap. Russ has seen the danger. He is coming, and he has got company. It looks like it's the one and only Just Tom Lindley making his way through. He's just ahead of Donahoe. So at the moment, the apprentice faster than the master, and the man who's being distanced looks to be like Martin in trouble a little bit further back. Tim Cooper, big trouble for Tim. At the moment, he's being distanced out the back of that group, and I think the legs have let go. He's got Carl Kopinski behind him, Matt Bundy, Rowan Dubash and Cohen. I think this group going to see Carl Kopinski. Carl getting spat out. The front group now are being passed by group number 2. So group 2 steadily making their way along the road. Cooper now distanced by the riders in front. And with the red beacon coming in the opposite direction, then it's 6 seconds up the road to our leaders at the moment. And this is going to be Isaac Oliver's got Russ down in with him again. Now, how many times can he attack? Can the youngster put the pressure on? How long can he make this recovery down? Is it going to be down to the minimum? Is it going to be a repeated attacks all the way? He's going to make some serious legs hurt. If he does that, goes to the back and then kicks again, and people are going to struggle to respond. It's definitely going to whittle this group down even more than it has done already. So at the moment, I think this is going to be 18 riders in this group. 17 riders, sorry, in this group. So 17 riders left to take this. Has anyone seen Isaac Oliver's heart rate? Yeah, 189, mate. Scary, scary stuff. He's only 14. Whereas Mr. Lindley's on 173. Matt Chris is at 127. Just trying to find where Russ is. That's always good for... fun. 149, so plenty of space left in Russ's heart rate. So Russ back in there, and once again the pressure is going on the front. Isaac Oliver has got 197, 197. That's I think the highest we've seen for the last few weeks. 197 from Isaac Oliver. Can he continue to put the rest of them in trouble? He's not able to break them. He's got Thorpe in front of him, and Thorpe continuing to push on. The pair of them, they just need to get this breakaway timing right. At the moment, they're unable to snap the elastic. They're unable to distance the riders in any volume. Just seen another rider go off the back of that group, but it is still not enough people being distanced out of the pack. Now, who is going to be in trouble? Who's not going to make the grade? Who is going to find this just that little bit too much? Matt Crease now distanced out of that leading group as well. So this group now down to 16 riders, I think it's going to be. Oh, 17 riders, it's still showing. Matt Chris at the back. We'll see if those numbers catch up with themselves as we make our way through. Don't forget, if you want an accurate idea of the count back, then you need to watch the video over the line and do your counting there. Make sure you replay it on the way through. If you're watching the numbers on the right, there is a time lag in them, so just be prepared that it's not necessarily your accurate position. So leading group already into the gorge. Certainly shadowing our cameras as we go in. Looks like another push here. Isaac Oliver and Craig Genther now. Now this could make a really good group. But Rob Varty quickly kicking on the road now. Can Rob and Isaac go clear? They've done this before. They've got Genther with them. This group is just so strong at the moment. But this is looking a little bit more dangerous. The gap is opening. Craig Genther at 2 seconds. So is Mason. Varty and Oliver have a couple of seconds now. Can they make this count? Can they push on home? You can just see those little bit of a kicks on this climber, just doing the damage at the back of the group. It looks to me like it's Downing, Lindley and Martin all rolling around at the back of the pack as the front of this ride is being led out. Rob Varty, Isaac Oliver have got the gap a couple of seconds onto Sadler. Sadler's chasing hard behind. It's going to be the Velobans rider Nathan tucked in this group. So Nathan just holding the wheels, and the man who made that bit of an epic crossing to get across, Tristan Emptage, tucked in here. Tristan ran, of course, from Harrogate, just quickly up to pace and continue to keep the pressure on. Vin Donahoe at the back of this group, just rolling the wheels, making sure he stays in the pack. Now starting the downhill, heading out and away from the group. The gap has opened this time. It is not Isaac Oliver who has opened the gap. It is the Wolf himself, the man who stepped in when Russ has been missing in action. It is Jimmy Allen now. The Wolf has got a little bit of a kick on, but he's not put too much pressure on. Just rolled off the front nice and smoothly there. And behind, they're having to chase. They're having to do the work once again. It looks like it's going to be Mason who's doing the work to try and close this gap down. And tucked right in at the back, it is going to be Dale Williams. So Jimmy Allen with that slight gap to Sadler. Neil from the crosscast coming up very quickly as well. Not closing out that gap, so looking like the gang working well at the moment. We're just heading out from the gorge. This group are all together. Russ says his legs have gone. I think they're still attached, mate. They can't go anywhere. You're locked in the pain cave for the duration. So once again, this group continues to push on at the moment, and this time around up on the front it is Thorpe who is trying to open the gap up. He's got this little bit of a gap now. Sadler's responding once again. Tristan Emptage in there. Nathan Crosscastile in there as well. Craig Genther. So it doesn't seem to matter how hard the guys are pushing. At the moment, it is not enough to open the gap. It's not enough to stretch the gap out. It is not doing the damage that it needs to. They've still got the big sprinters in there. People like Williams, like Mason, who can put out those massive watts per kilo. You've still got Russ tucked in there. The Bear claiming that the legs are shot after mullering that gear around all the time. Now, I'm not sure I believe that for a fraction of a second at the moment. So at the moment, this group all together. This is a group number one on the road. Group number two are now sitting at 135 down on the leaders, Mr. Bundy and Co. This is our second group. Tim Cooper tucked in here. As we say, if you are struggling with the pace, if you get dropped out of a group, make sure that you drop back and find a group. Don't try and do it on your own. There's no Hero Awards out here. This is all about making sure that you get your fastest run in and through the finish. Our leaders continue onwards, 135 up at the moment. And this is our leading group coming around these twists and turns at the moment. Remember, we do not finish as we go in this direction. We've got to come round the loop and come back again before we come into the finish. So still plenty of distance to do. So time to start picking who your money's on at the moment. The distance to roll into the finish is running out. So Osman just goes through, does his turn, rolls off the front. The gang looking smooth from Gritty is Neil that we're sat in with at the moment. As Osman just on the front here, just keeping everybody honest, rolling at 3.5 watts per kilo. Now Craig Gensler comes up on the wheels, starts to squeeze on through here. Is he going to use this as the trigger point to start to go clear? Osman quickly responds, so he's gone up to 6 watts per kilo. Now Rob Varty starts to push. This is where everybody knows how fast we're going. You see, this is the fastest time through that little section that we've gone all day. I've seen so many PBs for the entire front group at the moment, but you can just see everybody is moving quickly on the way through. Little group forming at the front. The guys at the back are riding very cagey indeed. Lindley has really turned into a master of how to play this game. He's sat at the back here. He's not doing the effort. He's saving his legs. All those hours, those days riding on the chain gang. clearly are working for him. Not panicking as well. Cool head there on Young's shoulders. He doesn't panic when the gaps start to open. He sits there and waits. He knows that come the finish, this is likely to come back together again. He knows who's around him. He's got to watch out, though, because we have seen riders split, but I think at the moment he's certainly looking like he's got this under control. The riders he's trying to mark out, you've got, of course, Russ Downing tucked in here with that chevron over his head, a real target for anybody on the way through. Dale Williams in the pink and blue, working well at the moment. He looks like he is definitely teeing himself up for this finish. Will it be Isaac Oliver, the youngster, who's going to do this? The team in front, well, they're working well. They could catch them napping if they get the timing right now. Rob Varty has gone hard. He's gone early. He's got the gap on Osmond. They're at 6 seconds to the chasing back. Our camera's trying to get in front of Varty. Varty, to my knowledge, has not won one yet. Is today going to be the day? He's going to come in and he's going to hit the sprint line any second. As he comes in and through, over he goes, so he's into the sprint line. He's got less than 500 metres to go. They've got to close him down in these 500 metres. Mason is coming from behind here. Lindley is charging as well. They're going to be very, very close. It's going to be Mason coming over the top of Varty. So Mason now having the head of affairs. Is Gareth Mason, the man who used to win every single ride at the start of the Donny Chaingang, getting his timing spot on. He's got to hold on. Behind him, Dale Williams is coming hard. The pretender to the throne is coming, but it is Gareth Mason. The fast cyclist is back. He takes the win here today from Dale Williams with Tom Lindley in third. It's Russ Downing in fourth, Varty in fifth. Sixth place is going to be Jimmy Allen. Seventh is Thorpe. Eighth, Oliver. We'll let you work out the positions behind that as you do the count through on the screens. Great riding by them on the way through. Amazing riding. Good to see Gareth Mason is back. This is what we want to see. Fast riding by all of our riders making their way in and around this circuit. Now, going to have to move our way up through the riders. So this is going to take a little bit of tricksy doing to get our way up to the riders where we want to be. So these are our riders who are in, done and through. We're going to have to just drop back a touch to the riders coming in the opposite direction. Easier said than done here because we're looking to try and catch the riders coming in the opposite direction as this gap comes down and through. So just about heading in the right direction. Apologies if we missed you on the way through. Not as easy as all that just to catch in with everybody. Bundy with the gap on Cooper, McCarthy and co. So here he goes, Bundy trying to hold the chasers off behind. That gap is coming down at the moment. This is going to be hard work just coming in and through. Bundy's got McCarthy behind him. Here they come. McCarthy, I think, is going to take this. He's right on the front here, but look at this massive kick as Dr. D takes it. Rowan Dubash comes through, just rolls McCarthy as they come in and through the line. Then Morn again doing another great ride. Kokian is in, and our fastest female rider of the day, it is Tiff Fletcher doing the business once again. The editor is back doing an amazing job. Fantastic ride there as she comes in and through. Good to see Chris Ball now in through the line as well. Tim Cooper making his way in through the finish behind. We've got quite a few riders just making the way in to the finish. We're going to try and roll our way to the front of that group and catch the next riders going into the line. I think this is going to be our next group coming in to the finish. McCarthy and Cooper in over the line, so it's going to be between these four riders. These are the next four riders on the road as they head in towards this finish. Some quick finishes in here. We've got Carl Kopinski on the front at the moment with that light away disc on there. Nice colour coordinated kit from Carl. Steve Wilson, Steve riding very strongly at the moment, back at racing in time trials and riding on the cross. I think if I remember correctly, then it's going to be Mr. Stevens gone for a real fast bike here, looking to take this out behind. I think Forbes just being distance on this final sprint in here. This is going to be very tight indeed. So here they come. They're heading in towards the line. The Red Beacon is actually coming in the opposite direction simultaneously. We're riding in with Wilson, which is a surefire way to put a curse on anybody. So we see Stevens start to lead this out. Carl's got a big kick on him. He's trying to close down Stevens. Is he going to get him? Carl Kopinski has got the pace. He's got the speed, but has he got the timing right? Over the top he comes. It's going to be Carl Kopinski who gets the timing right. He goes in and through. We'll have to watch back the replay to see whether it was Wilson or Stevens going through behind. Forbes makes his way in and through the line. Great riding there by James Ford. Well done, mate. And behind him is going to be Luke Handley. Good ride by Luke here once again. 40 seconds back to the next group. So the riders coming through thick and fast. In fact, not even that, 26 seconds according to our screens at the moment. So let's jump back with the Terminators group at the moment. Now the sprint is starting. Carl Johnson is leading this one out. Has he got the pace to hold it? He's on the front of this group. They're coming to chase him on the way through. Chris Canham has always got a massive sprint. It's going to be close between these two. Canham is coming. Has Johnson got another kick? He's going to come down to the line, and Canham is going to get it in the last few metres. A real rip up from our sprinters there with Ferron, Johnson, Langmead coming through. Good to see Tracy coming through. Tracy Seeley coming through, taking a second of our female riders in and through the line. Great riding. Next in is going to be Dave Fulton. Fulton working hard. Just making his way in to that right hand turn. So good to see Dave Fulton coming in and through, and that should leave us the Red Beacon group, who are on the way in to the line at the moment. A really good group here actually, because we've got some very quick riders in this tonight. We've got Greg Pills, we've got Sir Rodney in here, Mr. Evans, Mr. Cannon in here as well. Lone Rider is tucked in the group. John Garford to Stefano Barelli is in here as they come in to the finishing line. So just riding in with Stefano now, who is going to take this on from the front. I think Sir Rodney is going for it. Is he going to be able to lead this in to the finish? Looks like Mr. Pillsworth is keeping it wound up. Stefano coming behind. Now comes Garfa. This is going to be super fast. Who's going to get it? Oh, it's going to be tight. I think our Red Beacon may well have this as they come in to the line. Here they come. It's going to be tight on that line, but it was just the Red Beacon just taking that. All this group did an amazing job coming in and through the finish there, and great to see everybody having a good ride on the way around. Well done to Greg Pillsworth, our Red Beacon. We're going to grab a very quick word with Russ. I think he's still alive on the other end before we head off ready for Thursday's Chaingang. So let's drop Russ in. Russ, how are you doing?
Great, yeah, lovely.
Yeah, won't be doing that again, will you? 70 chain ring you put in.
I might drop it to a 60 for next week.
I'm not even sure where we're going next week yet, so I have to have a reread. You certainly won't be doing it on Thursday when we go to Caspats, of course.
No, and yeah, there's nothing as flat as tonight in the last week's route, so yeah, you are correct. I won't be doing it again.
I don't blame you. But a great chain gang, and what a finish. Great to see Gareth Mason taking the fastest men's finish, and Tiff Fletcher taking the fastest women, and two riders who spent a lot of time on the chain gang.
Yeah, he probably took offence to me WhatsApping him at like 15k to go. Said, "Are you going to sit here all night or something?" He didn't reply. And then he picked his moment and went when there's two guys out the front, wasn't he? So
yep.
You know, he went hard, perfect. You know, great ride. And like I said, if you can go along there, and you know, once he's got on top of the speed, you're gonna have to go so deep to catch him. We all tried, but we just didn't make it.
No, it wasn't happening tonight. Well, we're going to let you get off and get some recovery done, Russ. Cheers. Thanks very much. We'll catch you in France on Thursday.
Yeah, and great gang, everyone, and rest up. See you Thursday on Carpe.
Well, great to catch up with Russ there. And don't forget, we'll be back on the Downey Cycling YouTube channel with me, Matt Payne. Russ at the helm once again as we go into the World of France. We're going to be going into the Carpe course, which has that big climb, that big kicker up, and then that massive run down into the finish, which is, let's face it, who doesn't like a downhill run to the finishing line, apart from maybe Tom Lindley? Congratulations to the riders up at the front and everybody who's finished the Chaingang today. A massive thank you for watching. A big thank you to everybody who's a supporter, member of the DCG gang. From me, Matt Payne. Make sure you give me a follow. It's at Matt Fix Payne. You can do so on Zwift, on Strava, and on Facebook. And don't forget, of course, you can catch up with all of the action on the Downey Cycling YouTube channel. We'll be back on Thursday.